So you can say Kiddush Levon until the 16th of the month. And you count that from the Moiled, not from Rosh Chodesh. B'tarvaik Rav Yochanan Sfirlu. They both hold like Rav Yochanan. Hala mehevi ki Yisra, hala mehevi ki Nafyu. Up until the 7th, it looks like sort of a bow with a little extra. And after the 7th, it looks more like a half moon. Oh, after the 7th, it looks more full. And that's considered milui hapegima. You're having anah from the light of the Levana. Maybe you should make a bracha tovu meitiv. Amar atuki chasur mivarchinan daina emes deliver chatova meitiv. When it's chasur, do we make a bracha daina emes so that when it's fuller we say atova meitiv? No. So the Gemara asked, we should say both, daina emes and atova meitiv. Kiva daina urchalov, since every month it gets smaller and gets bigger, gets smaller and gets bigger, that's the natural way, then we don't make those brachas. If you make the Kiddush Levana in the right time, it's your makabel the Shechina. Ksiv HaChodesh Hazeh, Lachem Rosh Chodashim, Uksiv Hasam Zeh Keli Vanveyu. At the Yam Suf, we pointed with our fingers Zeh. We could say HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so HaChodesh Hazeh, and Zeh refers to the Kabbalah Sashchina. Tanav Rabbi Shmuel. Ilmol is lo zach Yisrael lahagdil pnei avin shebashmaim kol chodesh v'chodesh daya. If we only receive a Kodesh Baruch Hu once a month, it'd be enough. Therefore, we say Kiddush Levana standing because we're receiving the Shechina. Meremu Mar Zutra Makatfi Adodi. Meremu Mar Zutra, they would lean on each other when they made the bracha. That was the bracha. Amarle, Hai Nashi Dida Nami Mavarchi. Our women also make that bracha in Eretz Yisrael. Ella, but what's the full nusach? Rav Yehuda, Sham Rav Yehuda, Mavarch Baruch Asher b'Mamaro Barosh Chakim, Uvruach Piv Kol Tzva'an, Chok Uzman Nasan Laim Shloi Shados Tavkidam, Sas Musmeichem Lasos Ritzon Koidam, Behem Poalso Emes Laso Emes, Ulvon Omer Shetischadesh V'Ateres Tiferes Lamusek Voten, Shenasin Schadish Kamosa, Liyoitz Moshe Kvod Machusa Bracha to Hashem Echadish Chadosh. Ki B'Sach Bulos Taselecha Milchama. Another pasuk. Mishlei Amar Vacha Brachin Amar Vazir Rav Yechon B'mi Atamotze Milchama Shel Torah B'mi Sheyesh B'Yoda Chavilos Shel Mishnah. Who has the ability to fight the battles of Torah? That's someone who has many different Mishnayos under his belt. Kar Rav Yosef Anavshi V'Rav Tvos B'Chor Shor B'Koach Shor. Someone who's powerful can take in a lot of Torah. Rav Yosef was known as one of the Bikim who knew a lot of Gemara. Echad Omer b'shtei shos. And the other said, once aid saw in the second hour, and the other aid saw in the third hour, we still say it's okay. Amr Rav Zvi bar Ashi lo yishanu el b'shos. We're talking about 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Aval, Eidachad Omer, Kodim HaNetzachama. Then Chomer L'achar Netzachama. One says it's before sunrise. The other says it's after sunrise. Then, even though it might be 2 minutes or 5 minutes different, Edusam B'Teilah. So the Gemara says Pshita, Ela During the nates, it's not good. So it's an anami pshita. That who's seeing it within the nates, he's standing in an open space, and he's just seeing sort of rays. It looks like the nates. Kamash Malon, that we don't rely on that kind of mistake. Then, achakach machnisin, we said. Once a Talmud said something for innocence, we don't take him out of the Sanhedrin the whole day. Also, Yom V'Sulo, is that it? Vatanyam Yesh Mamish B'Dvar Loya Yorim Misham Loilam. We kept him there the whole time. But V'Mein Mamish B'Dvar V'Ein Yorid Kol Yom. He doesn't. If what he said didn't make sense, we leave him there all day, but we don't take him down. Kadesh Lo Tehei Aliyasa Yeridalo, because he'll be embarrassed otherwise. Amar Abaya Tirguma. Ayim in mamish bidvarim. We say that when it's talking about the Mishnah, that he didn't stay there forever is because he didn't say the right thing. We said they didn't drink wine, they didn't eat meat. Yain my time, why not? Yain my time alone. Amr vacha brachanina amr kra. V'leroiznim isheichar. That to the kings, they shouldn't drink wine or beer when they're judging. Ha'oiskim baraza shaloylam, which is al yishtak. But if they're dealing with things that are important in the world, they can't get drunk. Now, if the Bezdin couldn't reach a verdict because they were equal, we add dayanim. So lo ra'u mai, and we said if they didn't see the din, if he was not made chayiv, he's potter. If Bezdin didn't come to a decision, why are we waiting? The lifter mikara. Once we see that they can't reach a verdict, we should just make him innocent. So it's a genai to Bezdin that they didn't reach a conclusion. So we try to reach a conclusion. Why, when we said 35 to 36, 36 to 35 guilty, we don't make him guilty. You got to add. Well, not add. Let's say it was 23. It was 12 versus 11. You need at least a majority of 2 to make him guilty, so you add 2 dayan. Why? Lift everybody in a kamo. Let them go out because they didn't have a two margin vote. Why do we add Bezdin? So Rav Yossi koi kavosech. In fact, Rav Yossi holds like you, the Tanya. Rav Yossi or Mekashem Shem Mosif al Bezdin, Shoshim ve'echad kachem ezim al Bezdin shalesum shlosha. If it was 23 and it was 12 to 11, that's it. If there was not a Gemar Din, then we didn't add, like Rav Yossi. And that's the halacha is if it's 36, 35 guilty, we free him. He does not get guilty because you need at least 2, a margin of 2. Torah Rabban. Oimer b'dinei mamas nizdakin adin. If the dine at the end says we're done, it's hard and we need more time. We don't conclude by a capital crime the same way. What does it mean? Mine is dakinadin. Ilema kashtina, that this is getting old. It's getting complicated, and we haven't reached a verdict. So the Gemara says it should be by dinah nefashos. This dakinadin, not by dinah mamanis. Amravuna bar manoch b'shrei ravacha b'rei ravika ipoch. By dinei mominus, we don't say it. By dinei nefashos, we do. We don't reverse it. Umain is dakinadin, chakam dina. We've reached the end of the din. We've tried as best as we can, and we can't go any further. we vote. Meisve. Gadol shebayad b'dayonim oimer is not going to do. The chief elder of the Bezdin, he's the one who says it. So, if we understand that it means that we've reached as far as we can go, that's why Hainadomer Gadol. The Gadol, we give the Gadol the covet to say that. Well, Amrit Kashdina. But if it's just hard, we have to go longer. Lo Sagid Lo Amr Gadol. It's not good that the Gadol does it. It's embarrassing that they haven't reached a conclusion. Or it says even though there's an embarrassment, better that he should be the one and not anybody else. If it's hard, so then that's why better for him to do it than others. That we can't go any further. Is that a praise for him? Someone else should praise you, not yourself. Shiny Milsa the Bedina that Gadol Ramya. The Bezdin Gadol always concluded with the chief of the Bezdin. The Gadol B'dayanim sort of served as the final speaker. Keditnan. Gomra Sadover, if they voted, Hayumachnis no son, Gadol Sh'B'dayanim Oimim, Ish Plani Ata Zakai, Ish Plani Ata Chayiv. Har L'Chayiv, Vodkim, Har L'Chayiv, Vodkim, Har L'Chayiv, Vodkim. Mem Beis Amid Beis, new Perek. Perek Shishi.
Okay.
Nigmar Adin. They've reached a verdict. And they've adjudicated him to get skila. Motzino Solisokla, we take him out to do skila. Beis skila hayachutza beisdik. The place where we did the skila was not at the same place of the business. Shenemar hotzei esamekal. Take him out. Somebody stayed at the doorway of the basin and he had flags. The sus, and he had a horse. The sus rachok mena kadesh shetei roho. There was somebody on a horse that was also near the Beis Haskila. We want to have an opportunity to save the guy before he's killed. But he can see the guy was waving the flags. Because in Bezin, they keep on asking, maybe somebody knows the reason why we should make him innocent. And if so, the guy waves the flag and the guy with the horse runs and they stop the skila from going on. Even the guy who's been accused says, I have evidence to make me free. So we bring him back to Bezdin. As long as he has some logical reason that we'll bring him. Now, how do we know if there's mamish bidvarav? They're not Talmidei Chacham. The people sent out to kill him, the Gemara is going to ask, are not Talmidei Chacham, and how are they going to know? Freik the Gemara Beis Haskila chutz lebeizin avel? Is it just outside of the Bezdin and not any further? V'sulo? Vatanya Beis Haskila hayachutz l'shosh machlis. It was out of the city. In Kiddush, you're correct. Vadik Tanyachi, the reason why it just says out of the Bezdin, because nafkamina the inafik beitin of Yosef. If the Bezdin went out of the chutz l'shosh machanos, so avdinan, we move the Beis Haskila even further where Bezdin. Otherwise, it looks like the Bezdin is a murdering Bezdin. Or inami ki echid the tevilei atzala. Perhaps the time that they would walk from the Bezdin to the Beis Haskila, they'll find reasons to be mezakeh. Now, Manan and Mili, how do you know that this Beis Haskila had to be out of the three machles? It says Hotzeas Makalel and Mechutz Machameh, Mechutz L'Shosh Machles. Or ata oimer chutz l'shosh machnas, or ela chutz l'machne achas. Maybe you only take them out of one machne. Never kan me chutz l'machne v'vem b'parman nisrafim. The cows that were burned, because like a paril and dover shel tzibur also is chutz l'machne. Malon chutz l'shosh machnos. Avkan chutz l'shosh machnos. So we make a hekesh to the parman nisrafim. There also it's the three machnos. Hasa minolon. How do you know that by the parman nisrafim they go out of three machnos? Because it says, "V'otzias kol apar mechutz hamachna makom tahor el shevach hadeshin v'sarafos al yitzim bo'esh al shevach hadeshin yisariv." So chutz l'shosh machnos ata oimer chutz l'shosh machnos ein al chutz l'machne achas. Kishu oimer v'otzias apar mechutz hamachna. V'sarafos apar kasher sarafos apar rishon chatas akaluhu. Because that's written by the par Helam Dover. Talmud loymar. Because it already says the saraf otok asher saraf zapar rishon. We don't need the details about the second because already talked about the first. Litin lo machna shnia. So you have to take it away from the not just machna shchina, but also beyond machna levia, which is har bias. And then finally, when it says ukasho oimer v'otzias adeshno michutz machane, when you dump the ashes in Talmud loymar al shevach adeshno yisarev. It teaches us that he has to go after the third machna. Maybe lelef mishchute chutz. You're not only to be makar of a korban outside the base of Mikdash, but that's only outside of one machna, machna shchina. Malem chutz machna achas, avkan chutz machna achas. So why do we learn the hekesh to the parman nisrafim? Let's learn it to the din of shchutei chutz. So the Gemara says, "Mistavru mi parman nisraf av le'lemelev." It's logical to say that we're going to learn it from the parman nisrafim. Why? Shekain hotzel michutz hamachaneh, by saying take him out of chutz hamachaneh, and not just michutz hamachaneh. It says hotzei. And number two, machshir. Doing skila and burning the parman nisrafim are something that are done. It's a kosher thing to do. Shchutei chutz is an aveira, and both the parman nisrafim and the skila is mechaper, because the dead person gets kapora. Now adarabba, mishchutei chutz avalei lemelev. I'll give you more reasons to compare to shchutei chutz. Shekain ba'adam. It's a human being, not a cow. Chote is dealing with a sinner who gets misa, because if you shech b'chutz, because if you shech b'chutz, you get misa, but the other has no din misa. So, and there's neshama, the neshama leaves, and there's pigul, both by parim and the shchutei chutz, there's a bad machshava. Still, machshir mi machshir adif. Like the common denominator that takes precedence is the fact that it's a mitzvah to do these two things and not an aveir. Rav Papa Omar, Moshe Hechav Yosef, where was Moshe lived? In Machne Levia. V'amar leRachmano, it says Mekalam in Chutz Machne, and the Torah said, take him out of the Machne, Chutz Machne Levia. And then Vayotzis Mekalam in Chutz Machne Yisrael. So that is how he learns that you take him out of the three Machnes. But the Gemara asks, Hai Meboile La Asiya. This is actually what happened, and Bnei Yisrael were Makayim this. Asiya Ba'adei It's the Asiya, the action that they did, what they were commanded is Memela understood. Okay. So tomorrow, 7 o'clock again, the daf. And tonight, 8 o'clock,
Turban.
Torba.